Sup everyone. Hang on, I'm just going to share this with my server. Sup man? Fucking type in the live chat thing. Sup to my two viewers. I'm just walking over to my spot right here where I like to chill out and just do things like I just like fuck man. I just go over there and like sit down and do like a Buddha meditation. But actually that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna go underneath my Bodhi tree. Sup to my two people that are watching. Yeah, fuck, and this is fucking Sydney right here. So you know. Fuck, look at this. Are you seeing that? Nah, let him stay. Let him stay, girl. What the fuck? Why are you kicking him out? What's up, girl? Fucking look at this shit. Fucking look at this shit, man. Fuck. Look at that. What the fuck is that, eh? That's a fucking motorway, man. That's a fucking freeway. That's a fucking freeway. So, Chris, where are you from, man? Chris, where are you from? Where are you fucking from, Chris? Because, like, you must have added me from fucking Reddit or something, man. From Florida. Cool. Why is everyone from Florida? I keep meeting people from Florida, man. I think I want to go to Florida. The next place I'll be going is Florida. You know when my grandma was fucking like 13, she hitchhiked from fucking Council, Idaho, like in the middle of nowhere, to fucking Key West, Florida. Yeah, she hitchhiked when she was fucking 13, man. My grandma, she's now 87 and she fucking hitchhiked as a 13-year-old with her sister who was 16. This was back in like the fucking 1930s and shit. Can you guys believe that? That's fucking insane, eh? Hitchhiked all the way to Key West, Florida. Yeah, I hella want to go there too. I didn't even realize Key West is on that little fucking peninsula fucking thing, man. I didn't even realize that. Like, that's fucking crazy. Just fucking today, man. Just today. Yeah, I've always had this idea to like live stream my life and shit. But like, I just never fucking like went through with it. But today, like, I just figured out today. I just thought to myself, because I was gonna like get a fucking GoPro Hero and like fucking attach it to my shoulder and shit and all this fucking blah dumb fucking things. And then I was like, today I was like, holy fuck, man, I can just live stream off my phone. Like, who cares? And yesterday I found this fucking power bank. It was lying on the fucking thing, so I charged it last night and like fucking it allows me to charge my phone while I'm doing this. So fuck, man, like, and I go to the library and shit and just charge it and that. This is my Bodhi tree. This is my tree that I always lie under, and someone else is lying there right now. But yeah, I always just lie here or sit here at the park and chill the fuck out. Like, this is basically it, isn't it? Yeah, Bodhi tree. Yeah. What the fuck's Bodhi doing, eh? What does my friend say? He said, you know, you could probably open up. See, my friend's messaging me off Kick right now, but he's such a dumb motherfucker. He needs to come on my live stream. He needs to fucking come on my live stream and fucking message me on my live stream and shit, man, because I can't go on to Kick if I'm on fucking live stream. You know what I mean? Yeah, so. But, oi, last night, you guys should have seen what I did last night. Last night, I was on the trains, because, like, Sydney's got trains that run fucking 24/7. So, last night, I was on the trains, man, like, at, like, fucking 1 in the morning, just playing my music, and, like, no one was fucking on the train. Like, I was just walking through the trains, like a fucking, you know, like, it was, like, felt like New York or something, you know, like, that's another place I kind of want to go is New York, like, yeah, so, I'm gonna see if I can run this off YouTube Vance, hold up. You know, for some reason it won't work on YouTube Vance, for some reason. Okay, so what interests me, I'm interested in fucking, nah, that was me, man, that was me. I just temporarily went off to fucking get on fucking thing. What interests me is I'm interested in like all sorts of politics, like political things. I'm interested in Buddhism. I'm interested in history. I'm interested in philosophy. I'm interested in Chinese characters, which are called Hanzi. I'm interested in fucking Korean languages. All types of Chinese languages like Hokkien. I think it's called Fujianhua. And Kejiehua, which is Hakka language. I'm into what's it called? Dongbeihua. That's fucking Mandarin. That's like a Mandarin dialect from fucking what's it called again? Fucking Beijing. I'm also interested in Guangdonghua. Yeah, so that's Cantonese. I'm also interested in Cantonese. Interested in Vietnamese. Like, I like languages and shit. And I'm also interested in Islam. And I'm also interested in sports. I like playing sports, and I like watching sports, and I like betting and gambling, and I like drugs, and I like hitchhiking, and I like driving cars. I'm interested in cars. Oh, yeah, I'm into in real life streaming, so I'm going to be streaming as much as I can. There was a dumb idiot in the, I won't even talk about that. It's not fucking, yeah. What do you mean I'm going off? What the fuck is that? Oh, man, I've just been, like, fucking messaging every cunt, like, fucking watch my live stream, man. Like, holy shit, you know? Like, fuck's sakes, like, why wouldn't you? This is Sydney behind me. That's fucking Sydney. And, yeah, there's a hot lady. See, you see that woman in that blue dress? I'd bang that, eh? I'd bang that, G. I'd pull her dress up and just slam it inside, and feel it grabbing me and shit. Yeah. Even this one over here, look. That one right there, G. She's gangster too. I'm not sure about, like, this is another thing I'm always really interested in. I'm really interested in ethics. Like, I always wonder, like, does the type of stuff that I'm on, that I'm doing on here, does that, like, cross ethical boundaries? Like, I suppose it would, eh? Like, it would cross ethical boundaries, but at the same time, like, it's not illegal, but, like, it's not ethical. But at the same time, like, I don't know, like, do you reckon I could probably get a lot of hate from, like, feminist people and stuff? At the same time, I'm glad to have their voice. Like, if they want to come on here and voice their hate and voice their opinions and even voice anything, like, go ahead, you know? Like, this is me in the raw. Like, you're gonna see some fucked up shit on here. Like, I have no doubt about that. If this channel is gonna see some fucked up shit, man. Like, especially tonight. But we were talking about lizard people earlier. And, like, there's, like, a distinction, because, like, within lizard people, there's, like, the lizard people, and then there's, like, the people that are around the lizard people. Like this dude right here, right? He's, like, around the lizard people, but I'm sure he's not a lizard person. Like, inside, like, you can kind of see he's still got, like, a heart, you know? He still cares about people. So, I don't know. And then, like, yeah, and then there's, like, people that are lizard people, but they dress like normal people as well. And, like, they appear like normal people and stuff like that. So, don't know. Yeah. But I'm just chilling at the park right here, fucking. What I want to do, there's a few things I want to do, is I want to go on Discord to all those. I just went on Discord. I went on, like, one of my accounts, my Discord accounts, because I got 3 of them. And I went on one of my Discord accounts, and I opened up fucking, like, this, like, fucking, I was opening up all the servers to see if there was, like, a place where I could post a link to my live stream. And, like, fucking, there was, like, all this fucking shit that I'd been neglecting, like, all these messages, and there's all these, yeah, man, and there's fucking, yeah, I'm in a lot of different servers. Like, I'm in a few different occult servers, I'm in, like, 2 different drug servers. I'm in that server for, like, stimulants and shit. And, like, I'm in fucking all sorts of servers, man. And then, like, I was looking through them, and, like, all these occult servers that I'm in, they've got all these links to, like, fucking ebooks and, like PDFs and shit that I really want to get. I want to get all those PDFs and, like, link them. And I want to see if I can try and get YouTube Vance to work for my live stream, because then I could live stream without actually having YouTube going. And then I could actually, like, while I'm live streaming, I could read from, like, those texts and stuff like that, because that's what I really want to do. Like, read from text, or, like, read my own poetry that I've written and stuff like that. But the problem is that I can't do that with this normal fucking YouTube client, because it doesn't allow fucking other shit to run while YouTube's running. But that YouTube Vance allows other shit to run while YouTube's running. But the problem is I can't fucking live stream off that YouTube Vance, because for some reason every time I do it, it's saying something about the microphone. Like, you have to turn the microphone, give permission for the microphone, but you can't give permission for the microphone. Yeah. Well, Chris, fucking hit up 9P Rav. That's my friend Grell. Like, or even just hit up me. Like, fucking, I can't write any messages in this shit for some reason, but like, it's fucking like there's like a shitload of fucking occult servers on fucking Discord that are good ones, man. But the only problem is that, like, a lot of them lately have been fucking overran, or they've like been shut down, or like the fucking person that made them have been like, you know. But there's a lot of fucking occult shit, and like, you don't, like, at the time you think it's bullshit. Like, all the occult shit you come across, you think it's bullshit, you take it with a grain of salt, but then you realize that, like, looking at it as a perspective of bullshit and taking it with a grain of salt is actually doing things to your mind and your body that actually eventually you become like an initiate, or you become like an adept, which is, yeah, it's like a bit fucking weird like that, but that's pretty much what happens there. So yeah, exactly, like, you know, like, I'd say, like, there's a significant fucking group of people in this world that are like that. They always see the truth. Like, they always find grains of truth. Like, they kind of sift through the shit to find the gold. Whereas, like, there's a lot of people that will just outright dismiss things as shit, and they won't see any truth in it. And then it's funny, because usually those people pick a certain version of the truth, which is actually shit, and then they'll fucking, like, believe that, only that, though, like, which is fine, because, like, look, living like accepting fucking things and that is very fucking scary, you know, like, living, like, just being open to ideas and open to new people and open to new things and shit like that, it's fucking scary, man. Like, it'll do things to you, it'll do things to your mind, it'll do things to your body, it'll do things to your spirit. So, like, I don't know, it's kind of like left-hand path, right-hand path thing. Like, right-hand path, you know, you put a bunch of restrictions on your shit, and you only listen to a certain version of the truth. And then, like, left-hand path, you're, like, open to everything. Fucking, I don't know, that's kind of how I see it. But at the same time, like, yeah, there's, like, people that fucking, like, that's where you get, like, into doctrine and shit. Because, like, a doctor's meant to heal people, but, yeah, I don't know, like, the word doctor, the word doctrine, dogma as well, doc. Like, it's the same, even though it's spelled differently, it's the same fucking word root, like doc and dog, like, when it comes to dogma, like dogmatic. So it's funny how you there's a lot of words in English that are like that. Like, you won't catch it because they're spelled differently, but they're actually very similar. Like the word got and the word court, like court and got, like, you know, they've got a bit of a different vowel sound there, but they're actually essentially very, very similar words. Like, yeah, fuck, there's, like, interesting shit with that as well. Like, very interested, I've always been very interested in, like, linguistics and etymology and stuff like that. And, yeah. Like, right now, I'd be thinking about the word dress and the word tress, or something like that, like trestle. But, damn, man, there's some booty in Sydney, yeah, there's some booty. And, like, I always caught on to the link between this. Check this out, right? The word booty, the word body, right? The word buddy. Like, whenever someone says, oh, hey, buddy, when they're calling you a buddy, it's almost like they're calling you a body. And, like, I always say to people, like, when they call me buddy, I'm like, hey, mate, like, I'm not just a body, I'm a mind and a soul and a spirit as well. And, you know, whatever you want to do, a self, an ego, whatever you want. So, like, that always trips people the fuck out, because they don't realize it, but they're actually disrespecting me by just calling me a body. You know, like, I can... Oh, man, fucking everyone that's homeless is the most intelligent people. Oh, like that's taking it for granted. Like, you will meet a lot of people that are homeless that on the surface, they seem, like, retarded. And that's usually because they can't communicate with the world. Like, the way I see it, like retards, like what people call retards, like people with special education and stuff like that, they're actually people with special education are actually very, like, probably the most closest to God, and they're very, very like the most intelligent people actually on the surface appear to be like retarded, but the problem is that we can't relate to them because they don't communicate on our level. It's just like animals. Like, people think that we're above animals, but like actually animals are miles above us. Like, they're like spiritually they're actually like thousands of years ahead of us, like millennium, you know, like they're in a whole different world. But like, because they can't communicate with us, like we can't relate to them, so we just treat them like shit. We think they're stupid. But like, the more spiritually evolved you are, the more shit you can take. Like, you know, like transgender people, homeless people, people that like take more shit. Like, they're just spiritually, they're just miles ahead of other people, you know, like prisoners. Like, that's why like prisons look like monasteries, and like wherever you find, yeah man, they're just fucking miles ahead, you know, like, and people would never notice it. Like, they'd never fucking know, you know. Like, I'll give you an example of someone like this dude right here, right? So his clothes, like, he's wearing these clothes because he hasn't evolved yet to a level yet where he can tolerate the fear and the anxiety that would come from living a life like homeless people live, or like what animals live and stuff like that. Like, people like to say that like humans are based creatures, and that humans are like, you know, like being human, being of the earth and being of the flesh is away from God. But actually that people tell you that because what they're trying to say to you is they're trying to say the opposite. Like, a lot of times in religion and spirituality, like, people will tell you the opposite of what is the truth, because that's the only way they can communicate it to you, or that's the only way they can relate to you. Like, it's the same with when you meet people who make you feel uncomfortable. Like, the people who make you feel the most uncomfortable are actually they're actually your spiritual teachers. Like, they're actually more like in relation to you, in comparison, because everything's relative, you know. They're more fucking spiritually evolved than you and shit. So yeah, like, that'd be like, you know, prisoners, or like, and it's funny that like fucking, you know, with like when Buddhism started off, and when like even the Agori sect of like Vamachara, like Vajrayana Buddhism and stuff, or like Tantric Hinduism, they started off wearing like with the Buddhists with the saffron robes. That was what the prisoners used to wear. And then it's interesting also because like, you've got the Agori sect, and they started off as what was called Kapalikas. So kappa is like to do with the head and the skull. That's like why we call it like a cap, to wear like a hat, a cap. And then like in Spanish you say cabeza for like the head, you know. So like, that's why we started off like with that. And then that's like they started off, that was the name for them, because they had some punishment where they had to carry around the skull of the person that they killed or something, because they killed what it was the lower classes, the lower castes in India, and they killed a Brahmin. So they had to be like cursed to like walk around for eternity or something like that. Oh yeah, I have to pay tribute to that truck, if you can hear that Jake brakes, because it's a beautiful sound, eh? And yeah, like, they had to fucking be like that. And then like later on, spiritual people flocked to that lifestyle. So like what Alan Watts was saying, like, there's a very fine line between like a criminal and a monk. And like, you know, like when you go to the monastery, they use the same word, cells, you know. People like monks live in cells and shit like that. And like, basically there's a lot of similarities between every type of alternative lifestyle. Like, there's a lot of similarities between the lifestyle of, say, like a homosexual, right? Because like homosexual like isn't gonna have kids. Well, they can adopt kids and stuff like that, but they're not gonna have kids in like their, I don't know, I get it, like, I'll get a lot of hate for this, but like the traditional way, you know, whatever like they call it, traditional way. But like, the way I see it, like, you've got like your drug users, right? And your drug users are trying to like achieve different states of consciousness, like by whatever means. And then you've got like your monks and that, which are basically, they're doing the same thing. They're achieving different states of consciousness, but they're using different means, you know. They're using like spiritual means or whatever. And then like, yeah, you've got your homosexuals that are like the monks. They're not gonna produce children, you know what I mean? Well, they don't produce offspring in like a sexual way. And then, or they're not meant to, you know what I mean? And then like yeah, I don't know, I just see, and then like if you break down the word alternative, like alt is like, you know, opposite or against, and then like native is like nativity or like national, nation, like nature, like nativity, that's like being born. Natal as well. So it's like against, well, it's like the opposite of like just what they call in, yeah, so they call it grihastha in, I think in Hindu they call it grihastha or grihasna, and it's like a householder's path. So the householder is, you know, the one that's producing offspring and stuff like that. And you know, if you're not on that path, you're not on that path. Like, you're not a householder. Whether or not it's to do with like your birth or like karma, like karmically, whether it's to do with that or not, who knows? You know, like who knows? Like, you know, are we born into the lifestyle that we lead, or are we, you know what I mean? Like, and it's interesting because like people say, oh, you know, how you look doesn't matter, it's what's on the inside, blah 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 blah. But then like, what's my channel name? What is my channel name? Is that the one where it says Koe'z Strictly for My Ghosts? Is that what you're asking? The one Koe'z Strictly for My Ghosts? Or is it like Grifo? Okay, so Glifo is the corruption of so Grifo used to be the name that so when I was younger, when I used to live in a certain place, I used to go down to this tunnel in this like valley, like ravine fucking thing, and there was this like gang that used to graffiti there, and they called themselves Grifos Locos. It's like a Spanish word, Grifos, and it actually means a tap or a faucet, but actually also in the slang it means like a lazy bum or like a pot smoker or something. It's usually to do with like a pot smoker. So like basically they were like, the name was like crazy pot smokers. It's like a Mexican slang word. It's not actually like proper Spanish. In proper Spanish, Grifo means Gryffindor or Griffin. It means like Griffin or like I said, a faucet. So like Glifo is just a corruption of that, because like my nickname used to be, and like my friend used to always call me Grifo. So he used to make fun of me because he would like always make fun of like Asian people by changing the R to an L. So like he used to go to me, he'd be like, oh, Glifo. So then one day when I was like just making another Gmail, as you do, like, you know how you just make like a million Gmails for different reasons? Well, like I just made one, and that was the first thing that came to mind was Glifo Roma. And the Roma part comes from the Roma people who were like gypsies in Europe. So I just put that in there because I just put it in there. Like, it's just creativeness, I suppose. Like some people are in a position to be creative 24/7 due to circumstances or life experiences or situational awareness or like blah. But some people are not in a position to be creative, and you know, I respect that, because basically, like the way I see it, the constraints and the restraints and the restrictions and the righteousness that they place upon me allows me to break the rules. Like, you know, there has to be a tradition, there has to be a foreground, there has to be a foundation there for you to just go and smash it and like build something new on it. So I always respect like the yin to my yang, or the yang to my yin, in whatever respective thing I'm going through. That being said, like there is times when I go absolutely fucking crazy and I'll just lose the plot at people like that and just, you know, whatever. Like, fuck man, like I got arrested at this PAX convention down in Melbourne. I didn't get arrested actually, but I did sort of like get arrested in the sense of the word, like not by the police, but by the securities. They just came up to me and they're like, oh, you gotta leave. And I took out my phone and I took out my fucking audio recording device, and I was just like, started recording them. And eventually I got armbarred by these like giant security guards and that, and like held there for like an hour, like almost an hour, while I waited for the police to arrive. When the police arrived, they just escorted me out. They didn't even charge me or nothing, say anything, but like those are the types of people that are the yin to my yang, and I didn't really respect them outwardly. Like, inwardly I respected them, but outwardly, I guess I was, like, in my mind, I was respecting them because I gave them something to fucking do, man. Like, if you're security of an event like that, you want some cunt like me to go crazy and just swear at you and tell you you're a fuck. Like, I spat on the cunt's shoes, like, fucking told him I was like, bro, you know, you eat shit, like, your mum. I was like, when, I was wildin'. I was like, when you get home, your wife doesn't know that you, like, got shit in your mouth and fucking, bro, I was just going off my tree at this dude, you know, like, going ape shit. And, they just kept saying, calm down. And they obviously, to me, like, that shows me that they've had a lack of training. They've had a lack of, what's that sort of training called? I can't even fucking remember what it's called, but like de-escalation training. Because like the worst thing you can, like, literally I've learned this in life, like the worst thing you can do to someone that's going off their tree, they're going off their nut, is to tell them to calm down. Because it's like reverse psychology. They're just like, and that's what happened. I was like, bro, I'm not going to calm down. Like, you're assaulting me. And you know, I actually went and looked in the legal terms of PAX, and because my friend actually bought the ticket off someone who'd already purchased the ticket, all their like fucking legal terms and legal shit was actually forfeited, like legally forfeited. So they were actually legally assaulting me. Like, I might even be able to press charges on that. And that reminds me, I've got to go book an appointment for like fucking legal aid and probably talk to them about that. So yeah, I forgot, I haven't done anything today. I've just been live streaming, but like there was a whole heap of shit I had to do today. I was gonna like fucking make a CV and shit, because this guy this morning that's been giving me fucking food and shit has been making me feel sorry. I'm 26. Yeah, but like he's been making me feel fucking sorry for like not working and shit, and because he's a worker at this like fucking construction site that I live at, and like he's been giving me fucking bacon and egg fucking rolls and coffee every morning, spoiling me, like caring about me and shit. And it's been making me think like, oh fuck, you know, like it's been giving me anxiety, making me question myself. And I'm like thinking, oh, you know, I should just fucking get a job and make like $1,000 fucking $1,000 a week or whatever as a labourer and shit. But at the same time, like, I had it in my mind this morning. That's why I'm live streaming right now, because I had it in my mind this morning that Chinese proverb that the temptation to quit is always greatest before success. Like this morning I was like, maybe I should just go be a normal cunt, like go work, be a householder, have a wife and kids, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But it's true, the temptation, I had that in my mind, the temptation to quit or give up is always greatest before success. So I was like, nah, today I'm going to follow through on my dream, and I'm going to live stream. I'm going to fucking live stream, man. I'm going to start live streaming fucking 24/7. So I'm doing it, you know, like, because I believe I've got shit to say to the world, and, you know, shit to show the world. So, yeah. But it's not as exciting as I thought it would be, because I haven't been doing much hitchhiking and stuff. Normally I've been doing heaps of hitchhiking, but right now I'm kind of just, I don't have any sort of mount to hold the phone, so I got to hold the phone, so there's not a lot I can do really, you know. I suppose I could stop looking at myself though on the phone. You know, I don't actually need to like look at myself while I'm talking and shit. Yeah, fucking, it's not really doable in Australia and New Zealand like it is in America, just because like, I don't know, actually I think it is doable in Australia. I've heard of a few people doing it in Australia, but I've never not really done much of it or heard much of it. But yeah, like I want to do it. I want to go to America and do it not too long from now. And I've got a mate in New Zealand who's always been a hell fucking sad idiot and chucking a sad at me just because he's got these bail conditions and he can't leave the country. But really, I'm the one that's jealous of him, because he just gets to sit around smoking pot all day. He was doing a live stream earlier, man. I was watching his live stream and people were hell interested in it, you know. There was like 3 or 4 people watching, like fucking, you know, like fucking blah 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 blah, like whatever. That lady sitting over there, she's probably watching me. She's probably thinking, fuck, what the fuck is that cunt doing? But yeah, as far as train hopping, yeah, no, I've never actually done it, but I've wanted to. And I knew a few places in Australia that I could do it, like when I was in Albany, in WA, Western Australia, like I was going to do it out there and shit. Like right now, I kind of got stuck in Sydney, because Sydney's so convenient for everything. Like it's just fucking, you know, you get free food every night, and like, you know, free library. You can go to the library and play chess and fucking research shit all the time, and like, pretty gangster, eh? Like, yeah. So who's the other fucking person that's watching this live stream? There's 2 fucking people watching this live stream. Who's the other person besides Chris? Chuck a, whoever's watching this, chuck a comment in the fucking thing. I want to see who's fucking watching this shit. Fuck the sun, eh? I'm starting to get sick of that shit. Fuck the sun. The sun. Oh yeah. What are you up to, Grell? Look, that's pretty cool, huh? Fuck, they're doing so much fucking building and shit in Sydney right now. That shit's popping off, man. I can't even believe it. Do you know why? Because apparently, like, the Chinese housing market's gonna shit itself soon, and like everything, the whole world's based on that, man. The whole world's based off China's fucking tomfoolery, because they employ all sorts of tricks and tomfoolery and shit to keep their currency fucking floating at a constant rate. And when that shit hits the fucking fan, man, like, that shit is gonna fucking crack open out of its asshole, man. Like, we're gonna fucking hit some hard times here, man. I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know, but just from the shit I've been reading, like, China's fucking market's gonna fuck up. I'm still learning Mandarin though. I'm still learning Hanzi, and I still want to learn like fucking Guangdonghua, like Cantonese, because like, fuck, man, I'm just interested in it and whatever, like, you know. Look, here's some lads. In Australia we call this lads. This is what we call lads. So those, I don't know if you guys can see that, but those are some Australians. You can tell they're Australian. Like, everywhere I go, people don't think I'm from the place where I am. Like, when I go to New Zealand, people think I'm a tourist. Like, people don't think I'm a New Zealander because I'm only part New Zealander. And like, when I go to Australia, people don't think, it's like foreigners think I'm Australian because I kind of look Australian. But like, Australians don't think I'm Australian. Like 7th or 6th, 5th, 4th generation Australians don't think I'm Australian because I look too European. That's what I've heard. I look too European. People are like, oh, you're Scandinavian looking, you know, because I got blonde hair and fucking, you know, the beard and fucking whatever, blah, blah, blah. Strong, like the angular features, you know. But I swear to God, like, it's true that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, because I swear to God, like, some people just go nuts over my facial features, man. They just go absolutely nuts over it. Like Persian woman and shit, man. Persian woman, Latin, Asian and shit. Fuck, they just go nuts over it, man. But like, white people don't, eh? Maybe because they've already got enough of that, I reckon. Something like that, but... yeah, I do have some interesting fucking facial features and like fucking look about me and shit. I guess it's because I'm like, I always think of myself, I'm fucking mixed, like a hybrid, like a total hybrid, you know, like even though I'm like European, white, whatever, like I'm still a total hybrid. I hope she didn't freak out. She's looking, eh? I hope she doesn't freak out. Called a live stream, lady. But like, yeah, fucking like hybrid, mixed, whatever. And like fucking, it's funny because I was talking to this fucking Chinese girl the other day on WeChat that just randomly messaged me. And it's funny because like mainland Chinese girls, like fucking I swear to God, like their second or third question is always, what do you do for work? And that fucking offends me, eh? Because it's like, what, are you trying to get in my wallet already? If, you know? So like, I was just like, I replied, I was like fucking, yeah, bro, I'll see you later, Chris. Fucking, hey, man, just, you know, I'll be on all the time, whatever. Have a good one. And like, I was messaging this fucking Chinese, and I replied to her, I was like, wo diao ni de lao mu, which is like, I fuck your mum for a job. And she replied, and she's like, in Mandarin, she was like, you are a slut. She's like, you slut. She's like, you're a bastard. But it was funny because when I looked up the word bastard in Mandarin, it's actually mixed. Like, it means a mixed seed, or like a hybrid seed. That's the word for a bastard. Like, not only does a bastard mean like an illegitimate child, but it's also like a mixed seed. So I thought that was pretty weird, eh? Like, I thought that was pretty interesting. And then like, yeah, nah, it's just fucking interesting, eh? But, yeah. It's a beautiful park, eh? Fucking beautiful park. Beautiful park. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called Hyde Park. But sometimes I just put my jacket down and I sleep at this park. Like, I'll just sleep on the grass, you know? Like, fuck, man, that's what our ancestors did. And I reckon half the cunts out there, if they've got a problem with people sleeping on the grass, do you know what it actually really is? It's that a lot of people don't being reminded of what we really are, like, as humans. A lot of people don't like being reminded, you know, because you are so tired, eh? I have that effect on people, eh? I call it hypnosis. Like, I'll just talk and talk and talk and talk, and I swear to God, I send people to sleep. And it's good. Like if you want to fucking like that's a marketing fucking ploy right here, mate. If you want to sleep like before bed and shit, come and watch my videos because I will fucking talk and talk and talk and talk, and I'll fucking put you to sleep, mate, like a baby. Like today I was having sex with my boo, and I swear to God, like it was like that Ice Cube song where you fuck them so good, you put their asses. Yeah, like you fuck them so good, you put their ass to sleep. So that's what I did basically, and we both fell asleep on each other. I was fucking like, my head was pressed against hers, and I was like sleeping and shit, man. And I was like fucking like, whoa, like in and out of life. Like, you know when you're dreaming hell hard and like fucking you think it's life, and then you wake up and you're like, what the fuck is that? Like I'm actually living this life. Well, back when I was like living at my mum's and hell depressed and shit before I was homeless, I used to wake up and be like, oh fuck, I hate my life. Like I just hate reality. Like, oh God, am I that much of a loser? But ever since I've been homeless, like, and I'm a total loser, it's actually fucking like turned around, and I'm like, fuck man, I love life. Like I'm free, and all these cunts are fucking bound to fucking all this sort of shit. They got dead and shit. Anyway, I'm gonna do some fucking pull-ups. You guys can watch me do some pull-ups and some dips and fucking shit. Watch this. Here we go. Now, fuck, my shoulders got hell sore after that, and someone left someone left when I fucking doing pull-ups. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. You have to fucking watch, eh? What you wait, you fucking fall asleep and like you're in a different world, huh, girl? And then you wake up and like you're like, what the fuck? Like this is actually reality. Like fuck off. Like especially when you're homeless, that happens. Like you wake up and you don't even know where the fuck you are. You know, like you don't even fucking know where the fuck you are. Like fuck, man. I've woken up at this park right here behind me. I've woken up at this park and just been like, what the fuck is life? Oh no, I love it. I fucking love it, man. I like it. Sometimes I wake up hell fucking groggy though, but Jesus Christ, look at the colour of this car. Fuck's sakes, look at the colour of that car. Wait, he's a big cunner, he might fuck me up. He might fuck me up, G, but I'll tell you what, I just grabbed my jacket. I'd just grab my jacket right there and I'd fucking run. I'd fucking run away that way. I'd fucking run away, G. The coward's way out. That's what people talk about suicide, eh? They call it the fucking coward's way out. But do you know what's up about that? Is like you actually have to have balls to kill yourself, man. Like fuck. Does anyone ever think about that? Like you actually have to have fucking massive balls to kill yourself, man. Do you know how scary that is? Like no one knows where we're going. No one knows what's gonna happen. Like what the fuck, eh? And like people do it, and like people are like, oh fuck, you know, blah 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 blah. Like, oh, quality control. What's up, G? Well, I'm gonna do some more fucking exercise, man. Watch this. Don't leave, you fuckwits. This is also a fucking fitness channel, all right? Fuck's sakes. Hang on. Yeah, here we go. Fuck, I'm sorry the fucking thing fell. You guys didn't even see that, did you? Oh, fuck's sakes. I did that all for nothing. Yeah, I just come over here and do some pull-ups and shit, man. Like, do some fucking exercise. Like, it's good shit, you know, it keeps the mind flowing. What I need to do, though, is I need to go into the toilets over there or in the fucking library and shit and get some water. Problem is you can't live stream in those fucking places, you know? I'm pretty sure you can in the library, but I went on their website, they've got this little clause about how you're not supposed to fucking, you're not supposed to fucking film people, but it's really unclear. Like, they say don't film professionally, but you don't know if they're talking about, like, you can't have an image of people that's recognisable or something, but they don't say whether it's filming fucking professionally or whether it's not, so it's hell weird. But, like, at the same time, like, what the fuck was I saying? But, like, yeah, fuck, I need water's essential and vitamin C as well. I've got some vitamin C in my jacket I'm going to get up soon, but I'll just do one more set of, like, fucking whatever I'm doing here. Some pull-ups, I guess. I already did some, so I can't do as many. Don't hate on me. I'm fucked, eh? I guess I'll do some fucking dips or something. Yeah, man, I don't drift as much as I used to. Cause, yeah, I don't drift as much as I used to, cause, you know, like, you drift and you find places that you fucking like. And I fucking like this place, like, I fucking like Sydney, eh? It's chill, man. I've never been anywhere where, like, people just don't give a fuck, you know? Like, people just don't really give a fuck here. Like, they give a fuck to a certain extent, but it's chill, man. It's like what about Sydney, right? Is that it's like 250 years old, because Botany Bay was, like, the first settlement in Australia, Botany Bay in Sydney, but it's not in Europe. Like, it's an old European city, but it's not in Europe. Because, you know, like, Europe's fucked, but Sydney's not, you know, like, there's a lot of immigration here, but it's always been an immigrant city. It's kind of like, with all that being said, though, like, I've never been to Europe, so I don't know what Europe's like, I'm just assuming that Europe's shit, you know, whatever, so, but yeah, I am homeless, and yes, I do drift, but I haven't drifted in a while. Like, I actually have drifted around quite a lot around Sydney, but I haven't been anywhere else. Like, at one point I went back to Melbourne, but then I got fucking kicked out of that PAX convention in Melbourne, and that fucked Melbourne over for me. That just fucked Melbourne over for me, so I was like, nah, never again, fuck Melbourne, you know, whatever, blah. So I'm just gonna do fucking a set of push-ups right now. Yeah, so, like, I don't really have a set routine that I do for that sort of type of thing. I just kind of go and pump out whatever, like, whatever I can do. Like, I could do more today, but because I'm live streaming, it kind of fucks it up, because, you know, you gotta, like, fucking deal with your people. But, yeah, like, fucking, I should hold the camera like that more, you get to see more. But, like, fucking, yeah, like, I've been drifting quite a lot around fucking Sydney, and, like, seeing different people, and I've had a few people tell me that they love me and they want to marry me. And I only really want to marry one fucking person, but they don't want to marry me. Isn't that fucked? Like, you know, heaps of people want to fucking love you and marry you and shit, and then only one of them wants to fucking, oh, fuck's sake. So yeah, fucking some old trees around here. Any old trees? The city. Yeah, so like I was saying, like, I haven't been to Europe, so I don't really know. But people tell me I look European. Like, I had this Polish lady who was Jewish tell me that I looked European. I was talking to her and I was like, where are you from? Poland? And she's like, oh, you look like a European. And I was like, yeah, well, I got, like, ancestors from Prussia and that, you know, northern Germany. around the Baltic, and she's like, oh, that's why you look Scandinavian. And I was like, oh, well, I think we're traditional enemies. And she's like, yeah. But, you know, that doesn't matter. I mean, that's old fucking, what's it called? Old conflicts, eh? Like, we've got new enemies now. Like, I reckon there's heaps of enemies in my own race, you know, that I got to worry about. Not that there is races and stuff like that, because, like, you can find an African that looks like me, or you could find like an Asian that looks like me, and then, you know, you can find like a European that looks like an Asian, all sorts of, like, and even the way people act, like, it's quite amazing the different variants in like whatever, you know. And honestly, I can't wait for the hate, eh? I'm gonna make a fucking thing that rhymes, eh? I can't wait for the hate. Like, I have no doubt that there is going to be some massive hate on these videos. And I don't know if I'm ready to deal with that, hey? Like, people telling me to kill myself and stuff, and people telling me that I'm ugly. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. Sorry, my stream keeps going out. What are these people doing? I have to be careful, eh? They might, like, group bash me or something. Just because, you know, like... I'm so thirsty, eh? Oh, I found a meditator. I've been guilty of doing this, eh? Just meditating. Look at this. She's even got a mudras going. Like, you know, those little... That's what a mudra is. Like, it's like this sort of thing. Like, the hand postures and hand gestures and stuff. And do you know what's interesting is, like, you know, the mudras and that, where it's actually a lot quite like gang signs, eh? Like, I reckon that gangs, like, mostly gangs in general, are sort of like a Western equivalent of, like, the Agori sect, or like the various, like, sadhus in India and stuff. Like, I reckon that, like, gang members and that, and gangs in general, like, that lifestyle, because it's an alternative lifestyle. Again, it's an alternative lifestyle. It's quite a lot like the like sects in India and stuff like that, and like the different, like, it's got cognate fucking lifestyles in different places and that. And it's interesting because they've got, like, they use gang signs, you know, like the people and fucking gangs in the Western world and that use gang signs. And, like, it's interesting because, like, they're basically mudras, aren't they? Like, it's a spiritual way of life, isn't it? And, like, they're using mudras and that, and it's just like it cognates with what's going on in India and stuff. Yeah, so this is like the little library that ahead of me. That's the State Library of New South Wales. It's gangster, man. It's like the oldest library in Australia. And I swear to God, like, it's a gangster library, G. Like, you go in there, they've got air conditioning, they got water fountains, they got this thing where you can fill up, like, water bottles. They got, like, hell computers in there, like, heaps of computers, man. They got, like, heaps of fucking computers. And, like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, that right there, State Library of New South Wales, is a great library. It's a fucking great library. Look at this dude. What's up, bro? Packy's up there. I don't know how he got up there. He must work for the library or something. I don't even know if I'm allowed to film around here, eh, but... Because it's like, look, there's a camera. Big brother is watching, eh? Always, bro. And it's a very, like, bike-friendly fucking city and shit. Yeah. Fuck, man, I'm hella thirsty. Yeah, what time is it? I want to go down to Martin Place and get a feed. But I'm gonna have to turn off my live stream when I go down to Martin Place and get a feed. I'm gonna have to turn off my live stream because I don't want the junkies and, like, homeless people down there to see me live streaming and with my phone and that, because, you know, I'm a pussy. I don't want shit to happen with them, you know. Like, fuck that, Joe. Alright, so what I mainly mean with Sydney not giving a fuck is, like, it's just fucking chilled out here, man. Like, in Melbourne, like, everyone was fucking tripping on my shit. Actually, Melbourne was quite different, but I don't know, there's just a vibe in Sydney where people don't give a fuck. Like, people don't give a fuck about the homeless people here, man. Like, I swear to God, like, at the park I sleep at, where I'm homeless, there's this dude, Adrian, that works there, right? And he fucking, every fucking morning, he gives me, like, he brings me fucking breakfast, man. He'll bring me, like, a bacon and egg roll and a fucking coffee. And I'm like, dude, like, I'm homeless by choice. like, I didn't tell him that. Like, he keeps asking me what I'm doing, and I'll make up the story, because I actually do legit, like, I'm a bit like a junkie. Like, when I lie with conviction, because at the time I actually believe it. And, like, people that aren't like that, they don't understand that, like, people that fucking, like people say women are hell like that, like, they're very fucking flip-floppy on shit. Well, I'm fucking flip-floppy on shit, man. Call me a girl, call me a woman, whatever, but I'm fucking flip-floppy on shit. Like, fucking 1 minute I'll think this, I tell people all the time, like, fucking one day I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna commit to Islam, and then the next minute I'm like, oh fuck, I want to go and be I want to be a poet, and the next day I'm like, oh, I want to write a book, and then the next day I'm like, oh fuck man, I want to do my live streaming shit, and then the next day I'm like, oh fuck, I want to drop out of society and just sit on the fucking pavement, and then, you know, like, well, I don't necessarily want to be homeless by choice, man. I am homeless by choice, but I don't really consider the word homeless to be very correct, because, like, homeless, like, it's not homeless, it's more like home not, you know. It's like you don't really have a home, but, like, you can never really not have a home. Like, even if if your home is like sitting on the street somewhere, or if your home is like sitting on the fucking pavement, or if your home is like fucking whatever, like, you've always got a home, you've always got a place you go back to, or maybe you don't, maybe you just go forward. Like, there's been periods in my life when I was just going forward from place to place to place. Like, I hitchhiked from Perth to Melbourne. Perth's over on the Western Australia. It's on Western Australia, the western coast of Australia, all the way to Melbourne, which is on the eastern coast of Australia. And then I hitchhiked from Melbourne to Sydney. So, you know, like, during that time I was kind of without a home. But, like, homeless, like, yeah, I guess we've got less of a home than other people, but at the same time, these days most people rent. These days most people rent. Most people don't even own their own home. And at the same time, like, if you own your home, like, that's what I always have this opinion that, like, indigenous people, like, people often criticize a lot of indigenous people because indigenous people will litter. Like, they'll like trash. Like, I'm generalizing to fuck here, and, like, I don't mean anything by it, but, like, I've seen a lot of people, like, criticize indigenous people because they trash their land. And, like, they'll throw rubbish, and, like, they'll do this, they'll do that. But, like, people don't realize that to indigenous people, putting rubbish and putting trash and leaving things on your land is not the greatest offense you can do to your land. The greatest offense to indigenous people, I believe, that they think that they can do to their land, is to own it in the way that we own it. To, like, build fences and subdivide it and not let sojourners live on our land. Like, in the Bible, how it talks about sojourners, like, people that want to come and live on the land, like, the thing is that you're meant to welcome visitors, you're meant to welcome us. And that goes back to what I'm talking about Sydney, because Sydney's a very welcoming place. Like, people are very welcoming here. There's a lot of new people. It's an immigrant city. It was like an immigrant city from the start, you know, based on convicts. And, you know, like, yeah, they had to kill a lot of indigenous people to get that, really. Like, you know, but in a way you can think of it as a blood sacrifice. And yes, that's sad, and I fucking categorically address all the grief that's to do with that. Like, I mean nothing by what I say. It's all for entertainment value, whatever. And I don't mean offense to anyone, but, like, yeah, that's pretty much that story. I'm just gonna go down and get some food, guys. I'll be right back. I don't want them to see me with my phone.